Oh,
What's
Yes.
up?
oh my goodness,
It only
Saf.
took us.
I
Saf,
know.
they-
Another month or so.
I know we had a little bit of technical difficulty, but it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because you know what, Saf, we are here now.
We are here.
I
Yeah.
can hear you clearly. You look awesome.
Wonderful.
What the heck is going on, Saf?
Yeah, man. I know. And there's so much to talk about. I mean, Hawaii in general is big time in the news right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy what's going on over there, man.
Yeah, what of the main things you've been reading is on your mind about Hawaii right now?
Mitski for sure.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
I mean, just for so many reasons, but I think, of course, the main one is the safety of my loved ones that are
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
because there's going to be repercussions from this no matter what.
Yeah.
From what I'm reading, he's not the only guy that needs to be in jail right now,
It's like an unsolved mystery.
You guys know Hawaii, man. We don't talk, man. Figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not on
Yeah.
us.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I get it, and I still have every single one of my siblings are there with every single one of their kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my biggest concern. And then of course, it's interesting that he's one of his charges is murder for hire. I just think it's interesting. It's almost like a repeat.
Saf,
Pretty crazy.
I thought Tiger King had a wild plot. This is like
Yeah.
what
Hey man, you dig deep enough with anybody, you'll find some stuff, you dig deep enough. So
that sounds like a Joe Exotic quote right there. If you dig into anybody.
That's probably where I got it. That's probably where I got it from.
Oh, good.
Man.
Yeah, we haven't talked to you in a couple of months, Saf. And remember when we talked to you, it was just beginning this whole pandemic thing. And then, so what has life been like? We'll get to all the juicy stuff about Tiger King 2, Carol Baskin getting into the zoo, injury, lawyer compensation talk. That's all coming up. That's all coming up. But let's just talk life first, like human to human, Saf. What's life been like in the past few months since we talked to you?
Oh man, hot, stressful, and impatient, I would say. Because man, I was born and raised in Hawaii, where my biggest stress was which beach has the best waves.
Yes.
That was my biggest concern. Yeah, I mean, everyone grows up and runs into adult problems, but this year, these past few months has been like a character test for me, just for me personally.
Yeah. It's
pushed me to my brink, man, because I mean, with so much positive, you see a negative. With so much negative, you see there's amazing positive in it, if you look hard enough. But you don't know which direction to go, man, because it's chaos out here, especially here in California. I know everywhere has their own stuff going on, but here in California, like, they fight everything. They fight the governor's decision. They fight the governor's decision to agree with them. They fight everything. The protests happen everywhere here. The county that we live in, they burned down the DMV. You know what I mean? Like, the county that we live in, like, my kids have been to these buildings and to these parking lots. And
wow.
It got scary, man. It got sketchy for a little bit. And I know the rest of the world felt it as well. But for me, that was my first, that was my first war zone right here on U.S. soil, man. It's crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah. In fact, I just read an article like California releasing 8,000 prisoners due to the COVID.
to clear up the jail so that it's not so much of a, but I mean, these are the kind of irrational decisions that are being made in these very desperate times. And it's crazy because California alone, just the amount of people in one square area is higher than most of America. You know what I mean? California and New York.
Yeah, well, it's like, Seth, you have one of the most positive outlooks of anybody. You're a perfect person to talk about this. It's like, I heard you talking about, was it the People magazine interview or something, but you were saying that, when you got the arm bit off by the tiger famously in the Netflix special Tiger King, of course, that everybody knows now, you just considered it a blessing to even just be able to go back to work and have the honor of doing your job again. And it's like, you have that outlook. I mean, right now in this global pandemic situation, what are some of those classic SAFF positives that you're taking away from this?
Oh, no, for sure. It's definitely the ability and the opportunity to spend more time with my family, for sure. Because for so long, I didn't. You know, I pushed them away at all costs, man, because I considered me, you know, and only me for so long, my entire life.
Oh, I
You
see, I
know, my
see, I
entire
see.
life, I push people away because when you only have you to consider, it's easy, right? You just truck on through life, no
Uh,
baggage, no nothing, right? But
right.
the part that I didn't consider is that they're there and they care and they've stayed, you know what I mean, through all my nonsense.
Wow.
So a blessing in two ways, you know, for me to have that opportunity and for them to actually enjoy me the way that, I mean, they should, you know, just stuff like that, man. And it's not just my immediate family, you know, it's my aunties that have been there literally as secondary mothers my entire life since I've lost my mom and even before then. And now I have an opportunity to be there for them, you know, instead of them always constantly being there for me. So
Right.
it's pretty incredible in that sense. And obviously that's very personal to me, but I think anyone can find a positive in this, honestly. You know, give us
Wow.
an opportunity to slow down, man, and just look at life, look at yourself, you know, just reflect, man. You know, no one takes any time to slow down anymore. Even me, I lived life in the fast lane for so long. I didn't
Yeah.
even know there was another lane, you know? I
Yeah.
thought that's the way you're supposed to live.
Right.
But you slow down enough to, you know, sort of smell the roses, man. You realize you have so much right here that you're missing out on.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson I learned the most throughout all
Well,
this. Yeah.
while we're slowing down and reconnecting and stuff, I'm going to just add your friend here.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little reconnection
Yeah.
right away.
Well, she was the beginning of it all.
Dude,
Yeah.
this is the OG crew right
What's
here.
up?
This is the original. What's up, Rebecca?
Yo, what's up, Beck?
Hi.
How are you?
Here.
Oh,
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just trying to hear Saf's past few months since we last talked to him, and we were
Right,
all
right,
on
right,
the
right.
original conversation. And you
Yeah.
know, he was just trying to bring out the positives in this, you know, somewhat dark time. I wanted to get some of that
Yeah.
classic optimism from Saf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is now
Yeah, you
famous,
can
world
find it,
famous
man.
optimism.
wise man,
Nah,
huh?
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it was very, for me, it was very humbling to see the responses in general. And let me tell you, they continue till today. You know, these incredible people that do not know me aside from this docuseries, but pretty much nail it on the head as far as who I am, you know, and what I kind of strive for, especially now, you know, and that's a big blessing for me too, is to be able to be that person because man, I cannot emphasize enough how like much of my life I missed out on because I was so focused on one particular thing that genuinely doesn't even matter to me anymore. You know, so crazy how much you miss out on, man. So
Please put to rest all these rumors about Tiger King 2. Because nothing has been
yeah,
confirmed. I'm like, I gotta call Saf. I'm tired of reading all these articles of like, oh, hinting at rumors
There's
of.
even trailers.
I need to get it from Saf's mouth. Is there a Tiger King 2 in the works?
right. So I don't know if that's exactly what it is. I don't know if it's supposed to be meant as a sequel or if
Right.
it's supposed to just be meant as like
A
more
spin-off
to
or
the story.
something.
I don't really know. Yeah. But yeah, there is obvious motion and movement within that. And then the movie I think is actually in more motion. This
So that is
movie.
going to be a
So
for sure thing with Nicolas Cage.
I mean that definitely seems to be it. I obviously am not in Hollywood, so I don't know, but that's everybody who I've spoken to, that's it.
Yeah, because I
So
was like, wait a
who
minute, I
knows?
didn't get my script because I know you had said last that you wanted me to play
Yeah,
your part. I
man.
didn't get no script. I was like, this
Yeah.
kid's
Johnny
great.
Tsunami beat you out.
Yeah, Johnny Tsunami beat me.
Brandon Baker. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I had an amazing Skype with him, man. This kid, he's incredible, you know,
Oh.
and kind of the similarities, obviously not in the details in our lives, but
Right.
just kind of how we navigated and kind of circumvented them is incredible.
Wow.
And it was good to get to know him like that, you know, because he was just some kid, you know,
Yeah.
and then now some man. But yeah, it was cool, man. It was
Wow.
cool.
So,
The
you know-
opportunities, man, it's incredible.
Now you're like doing all these interviews and meeting all these people. Like, what's that like? You're like a superstar.
You're all over the place, Saf.
Oh no, it's incredibly like just surreal to me, dude. Because I love conversation, as you guys know this, but
we
more
do
so
too.
than that, I dude, I've known these people as one thing my whole life, and now they're literally on the other side of my cell phone, and that's pretty incredible, you know. And not to like idolize or whatnot, but that's kind of what it is. They're such a significant part of my whatever moment in my life that's kind of what it is, you know. And I just embrace that. I really do. Last night I spoke to Nick Groff from Ghost Adventures, and he has a podcast now, and he is such an incredible man. I mean, he has a friend of his that is an amputee, and they put together this program. They call it the Challenge, and Nick and his buddy, and just anyone else who wants to join in on this challenge. And it's a bunch of things: hiking, walking, running, you know, swimming, a bunch of things. And all the proceeds, all the profit goes towards building children with amputation, building them prosthetics.
Wow.
Yeah, that they can just have. And
Wow.
and that's incredible, because you don't think about stuff like that, you know. You go through your entire day without once considering, is there a child out there that needs a prosthetic?
Yeah.
It'd be life-changing, you know. For us adults, I can relate because I was an adult when I became an amputee. And you have an adult mentality, you know, you have that mentality. And plus I had 30 some odd years with two hands. I can figure it out. But children don't stand a chance, you know. And I know a child personally that lost a foot when she was a baby. And I can't imagine what a prosthetic would have done for her, you know. It would have changed her life. But who as a parent can afford that? You don't consider prosthetics.
Right.
You consider 18 years to build a college fund, you know.
Yeah.
So anyone can do the running and hiking and all that?
Anyone can write in and ask to join, you know, because it's intense, you know. It's like the last one they did was like a 14-mile hike and then like a 3 to 5 mile swim.
That's like right up Rebecca's
low-key.
alley.
Right, Beck? Yeah. It was so cool because they actually asked me to join them on one as like a guest. So absolutely, dude. I mean, nothing would make me happier than to be a part of that. So yeah, it's opportunities like that to be a part of such a huge, impactful movement, man. Absolutely.
Well, no, that is cool. We were just watching another thing that you were, when the accident first happened to you, you were just happy to go back to work.
Absolutely.
But then when you talked about the work, and so you didn't even want work compensation, you didn't file no papers, nothing. But then you kind of like, you had a change of heart? Tell us about that, your experience with working with
I don't think it was a change of heart. I think, you know, when it was pointed out to me that, you know, this was a significant life-changing event.
Right.
And I didn't really highlight that, then obviously that's when the collaboration began. Up until that moment when those lawyers contacted me and said, you know, you could be the perfect face for this kind of campaign.
Right.
I had never thought about it. Unless somebody asked me about it, and then I would go, no, I didn't really seek it, and I never really thought about it since. And it stood strong and stood right up until the point that lawyer contacted me. You know, it's all about perspective when you look at something, and if I can understand it and agree with it, then I'm more than happy to stand behind it. But I need to understand it, and I didn't understand pushing workers' comp if I didn't even go for it myself.
Right.
But I think that was their biggest thing. It's like most people don't think they have that right. Most people don't
so
think
it's like getting the education, right? Educating yourself.
That's
and
exactly
educating
it.
Others. And
that's exactly it.
You're able to file for workers' comp even years after you know, which people probably think like, oh, it's probably too late now. I didn't do it when it happened.
There is no statute of limitation. I mean, and that's what their movement or their campaign, I keep saying movement.
Well, it is a movement.
Is all about, you know, I mean, basically, it's about just highlighting that it is significant. It is important. You pay for it anyway.
Right.
So make use of it. It's like car insurance, you know.
Yes.
You know you have to pay it, right? And then it just is a pain in your rear until you need it. But when you need it and you have it, it's the best thing in the world.
See, that's another Joe Exotic quote right there.
Yeah. I'm done.
Yeah, sorry. You keep on coming up with the best Joe Exotic lines. It's a pain in your rear until it happens to you. Well, it's a great value.
He's very much sunken into my, you know, compartments of my soul. I mean,
sunken
it was
into
like
my
a
compartment.
10-year, just soak and marinate in Joe Exotic.
That's hilarious. No, that's funny. No, but when I first heard you talk about it, I was like, oh, that's so Hawaii, bro. So Hawaii represent, bro. I was just like thankful for go back to my job. And it was just so, you had that, but then you thought about it and you're like, wait a minute, I could pay for this could be some forever money. This could be some, like, I could help my children establish their careers and whatever else.
In all fairness, I still have not filed. Just in my opinion, I do okay. I really do. I get by on a daily basis.
Oh, wow.
So I still have not filed for compensation. They even asked me. I just wanted to make sure that I was, I think that I would like to see the process.
Right.
I would never even know what the process is.
Right.
But I don't know. It's really not something I even consider.
But
it's just something that I'm aware of. And
maybe it's something to consider, just so that as you advocate for it and you talk about it, it's something
then I know.
Exactly.
Exactly. And that's kind of why I said that, I would like to know the process.
Yeah.
Right. For sure.
I mean, I think, like you said a little bit, like even what you said, right? We pay insurance, everybody, right? And you can go 20 years and nothing happens, and you paid all that insurance, right? Right. So it is kind of like a little bit sort of.
Well, that's all they're saying. They're saying that if you're sitting there asking what your country is doing for you, this is what they're doing. What is your government doing for you? This is what they're doing. Now, they lack in a lot of things, a lot of areas, but this is not one of them. So take advantage of it. That's all they're saying.
Right.
Because employers pay this workers' compensation to move on.
Totally.
To just that happened. Let's bury it and move on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With or without you, they will move on with business. Right. So you might as well get yours too. Is all they're saying.
Sure.
And it makes perfect sense. If it was any other circumstance, honestly, if it was any other circumstance for me personally, of course I would have sought compensation. I mean, that's only the right thing to do. What are you going to do from this point forward? You have to pay your bills in order to have things, right? So that's all they're saying. It's a pretty clear, cut and dry campaign. I mean, you need this. You earned this.
You'll get it.
Make use of this. Yes, that's exactly what they're saying.
Right. So I mean,
of course,
I know that you maybe you can't say the exact number, but is it nice? Is it are they talking numbers?
Yeah, absolutely. They don't. I mean, come on, man. They don't have these types of what's it called? Compensation, even not arguments. Laws in place if the money wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? There's attorneys dedicated specifically to compensation.
What's their
for
percentage?
Injuries at work.
What do they get for doing that job?
I have absolutely no idea. I'm sorry.
They haven't got to that pitch yet. Okay.
No, man, no.
All right. Oh,
like I said, I haven't even filed. So.
No, because I'm just interested because I do think that is part of. I mean, insurance companies walk away with a lot when nothing happens. That's all I'm saying for me, right? So when I'm thinking about it, just common sense wise, and I don't know either exactly the process. I'd like to know, but. I think that's the exact case of your case, right? Is the exact case where insurance is like, good thing I paid that. And then you should get compensated,
Yes.
Exactly.
I mean? That's
and then start your own zoo. Speaking of which, what do you think about that? Carol Baskins getting the zoo. Let's talk.
Well, okay. Yeah. So it's, to me personally, that's the only outcome I expected.
Right.
When Joe lost the lawsuit to her, the $1 million lawsuit, they spoke about it in the docuseries. He never once in his life had $1 million to his name. Never once in his life. So it had to be paid off in assets. And she took everything that she could possibly cash out on, his four-wheelers, some of his cars, all of his buses, the semi-truck he had, the box truck he had. I mean, she took a lot. It didn't even come close to $1 million, but she took a lot of things.
Right.
So at the very end of it, that's all this is she's finishing collecting, and that's expected because you can't put a number value on an animal. She didn't take any of the animals, but she could take the property because the property could be sold. She could take everything that laid still on the property because that could all be taken apart and sold. I mean, in numbers wise, that zoo belonged to her the second Joe lost that lawsuit.
Right.
Not legally, but I knew it.
Right.
It's just
like it was the chess game that they were playing.
Right.
And you knew she was
but it's just honestly, obviously devastating because that man since 1997 worked his ass off for that zoo. And she, of all people, you know, I'm not saying that it wasn't something that I did not expect, but man, that sucks. You know, it's kind of the nail in the coffin for Joe.
But at the same time, right, it was like, it didn't even belong to Joe anymore, right? It went to Jeff.
Nope.
Right. So in that case,
it went to his parents, Shirley and Francis, and then when Shirley passed, it just went back to the deed owner or the CEO president, which is Jeff.
So in that case, it's like, bottom line is, who can take care of the animals best?
That's exactly it. That's exactly my question.
We all may not like Carol Baskin, and we all know she killed her husband, but she's gonna take care of the animals, right?
Sure, she's gonna feed them human or whatever's available.
Well,
like, you know, at least she has the animals.
Well, that's the worst part, you know, is you would consider that that's the best case scenario in this crap situation. But like I said, she's not even getting the animals because there's no monetary value on them.
So she's not getting the animals. So
no, she's not. She got the property.
Where are the animals going?
That's the worst part is
oh my God.
Jeff, as far as the very end of that, Jeff is the legal, you know, caregiver for all those animals. And now he's without a zoo with all these animals. So I don't know.
What? Yeah. So he has all these animals, all these addiction t-shirts, and no zoo.
Yeah.
What the?
And that one leather jacket.
That one leather jacket. Yeah. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he has a plan. I really don't know, guys. Like when I left, I genuinely stopped talking to them. You know.
Yeah.
And just because, man, what would I have to contribute to any of that? Like, what conversations?
No, you're smart. You stay right over here and just hang out with us. Just stay away from the drama.
I did.
So since even when this aired, you haven't talked to anybody?
Yeah, no, I haven't. You know, I had planned a couple of collaborations with one of the cast members from Tiger King, which is John Rinke, the park manager.
I like him.
Yeah, and personally, he walked me through my amputation. You know, I mean, he had 2 amputated legs at that time. Well, still, but he genuinely walked me through my amputation as far as what he's already experienced. You know, what he knows about what and. It was nice to have that. So yeah, for me, he was a friend. You know, he was definitely a friend of mine.
Were you thinking about coming to Hawaii, but then Ige pushed back the?
I was considering. Well, remember, I told you guys, you know, when I left Oklahoma, I just needed to be somewhere where I could kind of bury myself in myself for a tiny bit. You know, and home is always where you do that, right? You know, just go where everybody knows your name and just. Hang out because you know you're good.
Now that's the whole world for you, Seth.
That's funny. That's funny. I said that, man. Yeah,
it's so true.
But yeah, I mean that's exactly what my plan was. I really was. If COVID had not happened, or if I had moved maybe a month before I would be in Hawaii right now for sure. That's a definite. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it kind of it worked out however it's supposed to. I just roll with it, man.
Yeah,
you're the best.
You're the biggest, best known for rolling with it than anybody in the whole planet. Like, holy crap!
Yeah, get the rolling with the award, huh?
For sure. No, I seriously was. I was on the porch literally this morning saying how I'm pretty sure this entire family is gaining a little quarantine weight, you know, we haven't walked or ran anywhere in at least 3 months. And immediately Lauren's like, yeah, so beach this weekend and we're just going to have everyone run the beach. Just run, nice. Just keep moving.
I know.
That's not happening. I mean, it's so hot here.
We have a freaking beach every which way we look, right? And
I know
we're not taking advantage. We should.
Man, I would absolutely love to be there right now. Like if I could swim across, I would.
Yes.
They said the average weight gain is 16 pounds across the country.
I freaking believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. I mean, my jeans, I haven't worn jeans in at least 2 weeks. There's not been jeans worn in this house in 2 weeks because it's like basketball shorts. You know, most times I'll wear an entire day in basketball shorts. Get out of here.
No, you know what? But we're Hawaiians, bro. The bigger we get, the better we get at ukulele. So that's, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about.
No worries.
That's what I'm talking about. It's that bass.
Ka-ching, ching, ka-ching, ching.
It's that bass.
Well, Sal, I'm so glad you look wonderful. The spirit is up. You know what I mean? No matter what, we can always count on you to bring the optimism as the world is getting darker. And what about what you say? The Animal Planet with the Joe Exotic thing?
Yeah.
Are you going to be in that, by the way? Is that something we can? Yes? Tell us about that a little bit.
Joe Exotic.
Well, I can't. It launches on the 25th, so I can't speak on it. But I can say that, yes, I am being featured in it. So just check it out, guys. Definitely check it out. It's on Animal Planet, which is freaking incredible, man. It's incredible.
Wait, so when is that coming out? Again, give me at least
25th.
Okay, the 25th.
The 25th of this month.
So
it's literally right around the corner. I think they pushed it a week and a half in advance. So just to kind of get the world ready for it, you know. But it's amazing because one of the men that kind of molded my animal life, you know, isn't she a beauty, man? Steve Irwin is incredible.
Yeah.
And he, you know, his family has a show on Animal Planet. So aside from, it's so crazy. Aside from the show that I am in being featured on Animal Planet, so is the Irwin show. So it's incredible to see my face next to these incredible people. I love that, man. And I mean, it was a trip, man. Like I was tripping out. Like this is the Animal Planet, you know, like we grew up with it. We watched it, you know, I fell asleep to it. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah. Wow. I'm still kind of, as you guys can tell, I'm still kind of letting it sink in.
No, yeah,
it's a big deal, you know.
You know what? The week of maybe the 24th or something, I would love to do an interview with you on the Sam and Ryan show on 93.9 The
Yeah,
Beat.
Man. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get all of Hawaii on there to get our DVR set. What are the kids saying now? We have to record nothing anymore. Because Animal Planet, will we be able to just access it and like online or on like?
I mean, either or, because it's just a featured special. So if like when we were growing up, the internet didn't exist the way it exists now, you would just at 8 p.m., you know, you would sit down in the living room and watch this special on Animal Planet. So it's the same thing. And of course, when it launches on TV, then it will launch on the internet as well. But yeah, so animalplanet.com or just the TV show. But
okay, so let's recap. Let's recap what we got coming up for SAFF. Okay, we got Animal Planet, right? And we got which is Surviving Joe Exotic. That's coming out on 25th.
July 25th.
Okay. And then we got possibly a movie. What's that going to be called?
Yeah, I don't know. But every single interview that I have been in has mentioned this movie. And you know, the media blows everything up, right? So who knows? It could be 10 years down the line. It could be the next pandemic. Who knows? The next pandemic. But yeah, there's something in the works there movie-wise.
Which would be smart because that was a huge addition to the numbers, right?
I can almost guarantee it was the flotation device on its survival.
Yeah.
You know, it was like the perfect timing.
It was like 34 million views in the first 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was incredible. And it stayed on the Netflix top 10 for like 2 and some odd months. It was like 2.5 months.
Wow.
Like 54 some odd days, which like the highest is like in the 60s. So it's pretty incredible.
Wow.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Okay. And again, the Tiger King 2 on Netflix. Rumor, false, fact. What? Tell us again.
Yeah. I don't know what it's being called, but something is being made. Yes. And this is the thing, I don't know if this is how Netflix works all the time, but the filmmaker who sold Netflix its first docuseries, which is what the world's seen, he is the one making this motion to move forward with the secondary one. So should be interesting because he is also the one with all the footage. I mean, he literally has filmed us for 5 years.
Right. 5 years. Of course he could just carve out another one, right?
Easily. You know, you guys have not seen everything on that part.
I said there's so much footage that.
Come on, give us something juicy, Saf. What's something that I'm not supposed to know?
No, I mean it's not even really things that people aren't supposed to know. It's just literally in this documentary that you guys have seen, they showed 2%, maybe 2%.
Right.
Of things that happen on Park. Everything else was kind of detailed around Joe Exotic and his story. You know, the background interviews, you know, the conversations that happened when no one else thought anyone was listening. But the footage that they shot just with us interacting with those animals, with us day in, day out with those animals, they have that as well. And I hope, regardless of where he decides to take the story, regardless of what happens with it, I hope that that footage is shown at some point, because people need to understand the amount of work, the amount of heart, the amount of dedication that's put into it.
So of this footage, Saf, of this footage that we have not seen yet, what is the one thing that is going to probably go most viral?
Probably conversations. Joe does not know how to keep his mouth shut. Joe and anybody.
Joe
has no idea how to. He has no filter. He has no. You know the little people that sit on your shoulder like.
Sure.
Maybe you shouldn't do that. Yeah, his don't. They're both Joe Exotic. They're both him backing himself up. So, I mean, the things that come out of that man's mouth, and that is something that I know will be shown to the world.
And that, again, that was like whether cameras are on or off, or...
Oh, it didn't matter.
Just that was his real personality.
I mean, he definitely turned it on for the cameras. I mean, he would sit there next to me, no cameras on, and he'd be like, I am so freaking mad, Saf, I can't even think. And then he's like, turn that camera on so I can tell everyone how mad I am, you know, like, so, I mean, the emotions were always there, but when the camera was on, he was definitely putting on a show. But no, that was
put an extra kimchi sauce on it, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Bit. Yeah. Another packet of soy sauce.
Yeah.
For sure.
Chili pepper water.
Yeah. Wow. So, I mean, that's one thing that I do know. And it's just common sense that if someone has this footage in this like hype, Tiger King hype, then they're going to use it. You know what I mean?
Saf, you're stuck on an island with just one person from Tiger King. Who's the person that you would least likely to be, you would least want to be stuck with? Who's the one person you're like, not anybody but this one person?
Carol's husband.
What?
You didn't like the 50 Cent go show?
You'd rather hang out with the murderer of Carol's husband rather than
because
Carol's husband.
The guy who loves her is outside of his rabbit ass mind. Don't be on my island, boy. Go find your own island.
Wow, that answer blew my mind. Wow.
Yeah, no. Oh, no, I mean everybody else is pretty clear cut, right? Carol is different. Joe, he's out there. You know, Jeff, he's a pervert. James, oh my God, get out of here, right? But what is up with him? Like, you don't know him. He put on a leash, man. He's crazy. Get off my island.
What? Wait. Tell me the story about it. He put on a leash? What?
Remember the pictures?
That was like their wedding. That was like their wedding photo. He was like, you know what would be a good idea is if you put me on a leash. Like that was his idea, bro.
You know what? I get your answer, Saf. I do. But Carol Baskins, who murdered this, should also be high on the list. So I'm still blown away by the answer.
I mean, I literally wrestled tigers. I'm not afraid of Carol Baskins.
Oh, that's so hilarious.
But the man that sleeps next to her soundly at night, that's a crazy dude. That's a crazy dude. I mean,
recently, everybody knows this video has been going viral. Carol Baskins and the new husband who Saf is talking about, you wouldn't want to be stuck on the island with him.
Right.
They are singing along to 50 Cent's, It's Your Birthday, Go Shorty.
Go Shorty.
It's Carol Baskin and Howard Baskin at Big Cat Rescue, and we are here with the Crip Mates to wish Charlotte a happy birthday. Go, Charlotte. It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. We're gonna sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give a fudge that it's your birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
It's like when you it's like when they use kids to do those really, really creepy parts in movies because it just magnifies the creepy, you know? That song used to be just a horrible song. And now it's such a creepy, creepy, horrible song.
Oh my God. I can picture that being the trailer to Tiger King 2. It's just them singing that song and then it slows down. You shorty.
It's over. It's all over. Yeah. It's so funny. It's so funny because I literally watched through and through. I watched Fatal Attractions. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it. It's about a bunch of people who own exotic animals or dangerous animals in their home. And at some point, they either got hurt or got killed. And it's so interesting to find out exactly how small the exotic animal industry is when you watch Fatal Attractions and 80% of the people, like them, because they highlight a lot of people that are still currently in the industry as kind of like experts, or not just experts, but as like a mirror, to kind of base, because a lot of the stories or the events happen prior to this and they don't have the real people there because they passed, so yeah, it was so interesting. Carol Baskin is on there. Wow. Yeah. So it's like, the guy in Ohio, Terry Thompson. You guys ever hear about that? Zanesville, Ohio. He just was fed up with life and he let all his animals out. So it was like 18 tigers and like 10 lions and 7 bears. It was like a total of 40 or some odd animals that he let out loose into Zanesville, Ohio. And then he shot himself. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It was a big, huge deal. And it started the movement in Ohio to ban exotic animals completely. And if you had an exotic animal, you had to house it at this one particular facility and you had to pay them to do that. So it's like you're taking care of this, like your animal's a prisoner, and you're taking care of them.
What happened to the animals? Where did
didn't they get shot?
Unfortunately, they shot every single one of them. So 40 some odd animals. Yeah. It was because
they were running around the street.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
No, that's
why
it
was in danger. Yeah, it's protocol. It's actually standard protocol.
I mean, that's
anywhere.
That's
anywhere
literally
that you have an exotic animal. Yeah,
that's literally the script to the movie Rampage, right?
Pretty much.
You're like,
I mean, pretty much.
Everybody, even if you're Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and you've got a heart for this thing, it's going around and it's super huge and it's angry and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, it's. Go ahead, Tina.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's sad. That's sad, but at the same time, it's like, isn't it better than being like cooped up in a little cage and hungry and being mistreated?
Especially
and
if this guy wasn't stable.
And that was kind of the the whole rally around the entire thing was that, was that the pressure that was building that forced him to release them all and then take his own life? Because now these animals are suffering, and the one man who kind of moved it in this direction, he's gone now, so who's answering for what except the animals, right? So it was a big deal, especially for me personally, because I was working with these animals every single day, so I saw the pressures and I saw the stress, but not really on the same level. You just push through it for the sake of the animals. Yeah. And he kind of just gave up. He was like, man, this is how it's going to be, because this is the easiest way for me to do this without surrendering my animals. It's incredible, what people would do when pushing a corner like that. Yeah. And Fatal Attractions, if you guys are interested in anything like that, man, is a pretty good storyline, as you kind of get the idea at the very end of it, or maybe not even at the end of it, maybe like 4 or 5 episodes in, you're like, okay, I get the idea, because they're all pretty much the same kind of person.
Where do you watch that?
I'm watching it on Prime Video right now.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure you can find it on the internet or on TV or wherever, because I remember it coming out on TV, and I caught maybe a couple episodes, but never really pursued anything. And then I saw it and I was like, I watched it through and through. There's like 4 seasons and like 8 episodes a season, and I was like, I'm watching it all.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way,
like 80% of the people, man, it's crazy.
By the way, do you think Carol Baskins will ever go to jail for killing her husband?
I'm sure that if there's a possibility of that happening, right now is the time.
Right? So they did just say that it was 100% forged, his will.
Oh,
Yeah, see, so all eyes are on this. They're gonna push and push and push. They're gonna push for whatever the result is. They're gonna find out. You know what I mean? But I mean, without, can you have a case without a body? You know, can you have a case without finding any sort of indication that he is no longer? I mean, I don't know how any of that works.
That's tough.
That
right?
would be the only thing that stops her, because right now they're gonna pursue it. I mean, they're not gonna just.
Didn't we see
shake it off.
some other article that said they found human remains?
That was on Joe's property.
I think that was on our part. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that about, Saf?
I don't know. I haven't a clue.
Joe said there was 4 people buried there as a memorial.
Possibly.
That's not suspicious at all.
That was that was way before it became this huge park.
You know what I'm saying?
Joe built it. Yeah,
right.
No, that's horrible.
It doesn't sound
like whoa.
You know, we had a memorial right in the middle of the tiger cage. Come on, I'm not a judge, but that sounded a little fishy.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not a lawyer.
You know what I mean?
Law school, but.
It's like why is there half a shoe bitten off buried in the memorial?
Yeah. This is like 3.5 men. What are you doing over here?
I don't know.
No. But yeah, I know that he built it, you know, as a memorial park. And when he first started it, it obviously was not as big as it is now. So that's always been like the rumor, you know, that's what he did. He allowed people to bury their loved ones there. But I have no clue. I mean, I thought you had to be a cemetery to bury bodies.
Right.
Yeah.
Legally, right?
Legally.
I mean, you can dig dirt anywhere, but it doesn't mean you should put a body there. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, Saf.
Joe Exotic is the sheer amount of things that comes out of his face, like it just blows my mind on a daily basis. Wow. It just blows my mind.
Who's the worst liar, Joe Exotic or President Trump?
Oh man. I don't know.
That's tough. That's a tough one. I bring the hard questions.
I mean, that's not even a question. That's just like knifing back. Look, Joe, I don't know even what's true and what's not with Joe, but that's so funny because I feel the same way about my president. So,
yeah, it's almost like same.
It's like so even keel right now.
Wow.
I genuinely don't know. I can't think of one thing that either of them have said that I can tell you that's true.
Wow. But that's impressive because you worked with Joe for how many years? So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but none of what he had to say really affected me, you know?
Right.
I mean, most of what he had to say was talking nonsense or just what can he do to, you know, make tomorrow better for him. None of what he said affected me, honestly, you know, and he said a lot.
Right.
So, I mean, and you guys heard, you know, some of the things that came out of his mouth. I mean, he literally thinks about nothing and no one else.
Yeah.
You know, but that was just his personality, and I'm not excusing it, but I just turned a blind eye to it. You know, it didn't matter, you know?
Right.
But you did say he has like a good side, right? You said like he,
of course, yeah.
Forgiving in certain ways.
I've seen him get emotional, and I've seen him, you know, do things for others that I had the opportunity to do myself and did not. You know, so in that sense, was a better man than me. You know.
Wow.
So yeah, of course. I mean, he's only human. He makes mistakes. He made a lot of mistakes in front of me, you know. I've made a lot of mistakes. So, but yeah, he's just because he's loud and just because he's eccentric and just because he's more ambitious than most, you know, it just sets him aside. It does, or sets him apart. You know, it doesn't mean that he's worse or better. You know.
Well, except
but it's undeniable. You know, it's
attempted
undeniable.
murder. Attempted murder for hire part.
Yeah, that's
besides that.
You know that's a small club.
If it's true, right?
Alleged.
Yeah.
We just have a few recordings, but what does that say, right?
Yeah, what does that do? Yeah. Thanks, guys.
And also coming soon is SAFF's Zoom Zoo. Once we get our shit together, that's happening.
Yes, sir. I'm getting bored here in California. I'm going to start collecting me some animals here soon.
Yes. The true pet detective.
Honestly, I'm serious because it's like, I mean, there's only so much I can do with my mental space.
Okay, wait. Like exotic animals or
I mean, I'm gonna push the envelope with the spouse as much as I can.
Yes.
So it's not gonna be like tigers, lions, and bears. But I just want some exciting things. I think I'm definitely talking to my buddy about a few snakes, but we'll see. We'll see. So,
what kind? Hawaiian snake.
yeah, Hawaiian snakes. I convinced my little sister that earthworms were Hawaiian snakes for at least 2 years. For at least 2 years. It's so funny. Good stuff.
Holy crap. Well, Saf, not the kind, like, don't get a dangerous snake already. Come on, man. I mean, we've had one horrific, globally well-known accident.
No.
Can we just don't get bitten again? Okay. Can you please stay safe, Saf?
No, yeah, safe. Yeah, I was thinking like a king cobra, not like a spitting cobra.
Okay, a king cobra that's been like de-weaponized. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. Becca, hi. Can you not try to interrupt so much next time?
How are you, Beck?
I'm good.
You look so good. How was your moving? Was it good? Was it fun?
Horrible.
Horrible.
I'm just cleaning my old apartment right now, so I'm sitting on the ground in an empty apartment.
Just reminiscing, huh? Taking it all in. Yeah, I hate moving, so I'll do that as least as possible.
Rebecca moves like once a year.
Yeah,
that's good for you, man.
Move next year too.
Hey, new scenery.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah.
I'm glad because it forces you to go through all your hoarder shit.
No, honestly, that's the only way I get rid of some shit that I hoard too. I'm just like you, Becca.
Man.
I gotta
One
move.
time, let me just tell the story real quick, okay? She's like, I have to get this stuff out of the storage. Can you help me get this stuff out of the storage? I'm like, what? Okay, I'll go help you, So we go there, and I'm like taking the box. I'm like, what's in this box? I open a box. Nothing but pie pans, like, those tin pans. I'm like, what the hell? I open another box. Becca. Nothing but old ass stuffed animals. I'm like, Rebecca, what are we moving here? A whole storage full of just.
That's amazing.
You're not even Chinese, Becca. You don't have no excuses. That's my people crap. That's like what we do. I got Ziplocs.
She has like attachments to all of this
That's
stuff.
amazing.
She's like, I need to keep every last piece of every last clothing of all my kids. Like all of them.
Beck, can I tell you something? Like, that's amazing because my mom, especially with the kid stuff, my mom did the same, and it's incredible for me to find stuff that like I wrote when I was 7,
Right?
So that's incredible. But
oh my God.
But the pie pans, the pie pans, Beck, I need to go.
One day you're gonna open a pie business and you're gonna have those. They're gonna be ready for you.
That's true, Beck.
That's hilarious.
You're the best. That's so funny, dude. Yeah, you do. That's wonderful, dude. That's the best thing ever. It's so funny because I watch Hoarders. Hoarders on like TLC or whatever.
Real life.
No, but it's not like about you guys. I promise. Like, it's not because you guys said that. I literally find so many similarities between those people on Hoarders and my wife that I like. She's like, turn it off.
That's too much. Why are you attacking me by leaving this on so loudly?
It was so funny. Wow. I'm like, because the lady's like, it's not that I need to go to a store and I need one particular thing. It's I go to a store and I can't leave without these things. And I've literally heard Lauren say that. Like, we can't leave here without this. Like, get out of here. You're a hoarder. Get out of here. It's crazy, man.
I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Times are
I'm
tough,
not making
man.
fun of you, but
it's like
times are tough.
You want to hang on to stuff. Just in case.
Let me tell you something. When I left Oklahoma, so this is just recently, I literally brought like a backpack, and it was just shirts or like a hoodie that I just genuinely didn't want to get rid of. But other than that, and the clothes that I had on my back and my wallet, I didn't leave much, or I didn't leave with much, and I didn't have much when I came here. And that was a pretty cool thing for me personally, to just kind of start over, just like, whoa, I really need a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice.
I did that when I moved here from Texas. I came with just one suitcase and my 3 kids. Yeah, I mean my 2 kids.
Yeah,
2 kids. 2 kids. I was thinking 3 of us.
That's your
he's
hair.
good.
I only have 2. I swear.
Oh, skeleton.
It's in car,
And
skid marks on the
He
driveway.
immediately left.
What the hell is happening here? Becca, tell me the truth. Look me in the eye. Don't look. Don't look. Does she have, how many kids does she have?
Well, you're number 3.
Whoa.
And I'm done.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
There's
night,
nothing to
sir.
say except for that was the perfect thing. I can't top that, Becca. Oh my, thank you. I love all of you guys. Air hugs.
Air hug.
Yes.
Aw.
Thank you guys for having me again. Honestly, it's
Yes.
always a
When are
Thank
you gonna
you.
come? When are you gonna come home?
So I'm planning the very end of this year is what I'm planning, because 2021 right now just looks incredibly crazy. So hopefully the very end of this year. We'll see though how this COVID thing is. So
Well, when you
We'll see.
come, we have social distancing in our backyard.
Yes.
So you can
Heck
come
yeah.
for barbecue.
I
Yeah,
know.
you can
I've
meet
seen it.
Tina's
It's so
14
fun.
kids. It'll be great.
Yeah,
I'll
all
introduce you.
14 of them. Have you
Only if
ever
you're-
checked?
That's only if you're
Have you ever
including
checked
Rebecca's
that shed in the
12.
backyard? Have you
Seth,
ever
bring your
checked that
bring
shed?
your 7 kids and your 12 snakes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, snakes galore. We'll do it. No, that's. I'll definitely, obviously, let you guys know, and I look forward to it, man.
No, honestly, and I'm bugging you July 24th for a radio
You better.
interview, and let's
You better.
brag about Animal Planet and everything.
Yeah, or just however, bud.
Okay.
However.
Nice. Okay. Talk
Thank
to
you
you guys
guys.
Good to see you
soon.
guys.
Bye.
Definitely.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye. Mwah, mwah.